you guys? It is March 24th, 2025, and I hope everybody's been having a wonderful day so far today. In today's video, I want to kind of piggyback off of the video that I did yesterday, and just because I got so many responses from that video, people telling me that they are struggling in silence and or suffering in silence, either one. And like I said, there are just so many people that told me that they were doing just that, and I've been there. I know exactly what that feels like, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. The weather today here, by the way, is completely different than it was yesterday, because it has been raining all day here, and it is like chilly. The wind's blowing. It's just not a nice day out here today. Yesterday it was absolutely beautiful. It was a nice weekend this weekend, but you know how it is. We've got one of those days today. It's just cloudy, overcast. It's been gross all day here, and I've talked about it so many times, but I cannot stand rainy days. They really bring me down, but it's not too bad today. But like I said, let's get into today's video. So like I said, I kind of wanted to piggyback off of the video that I did yesterday, and what I wanted to talk about today, especially for those of you who told me that you too are suffering in silence, is that I totally believe in each and every single one of you on this channel, and I know that you can achieve what you desire, that you can get what you want, and you can get your life back. And I'm not here to give anybody, like I was saying the other day, I don't know I don't have the magic pill. I don't have the answers to sobriety. I just don't. It's a different journey for each and every single one of us, and what makes one person tick doesn't make the other person tick, and what made me stop drinking might not make the next person stop drinking, or it could be something way less. It just depends on each individual. I think there's this idea sometimes that there's like I said, like a one size fits all idea of sobriety, and I just don't believe in that. I don't think that's the truth. I think it's different for everybody. I've known people that could just stop. I've had friends of mine that realized they had a problem, and one day they just put it down and never drank again. And they were heavy drinkers and just stopped. And I've known people that used substances and just stopped one day. I've also known people, and lots of them, that kept using until they lost their life, or they had an accident and lost their life. I've known so many people that have lost their life to addiction. It is absolutely insane. So many people that I went to school with that have passed since because of their addictions. But anyway, like I was saying, is that I believe in each and every single one of you, and I know that you can do it. It's just whatever it is for you that makes you tick and makes you want to go that route. The thing is that my main purpose of what I wanted to talk about today is that how strong you actually really are. And I think that for a lot of us, we don't realize how strong that we really are and what we are capable of until something happens and we are placed in a position where we don't have any choice but to endure what it is. It's kind of like anything in life. Think about the first job that you went to get and how nervous you were when you went to get it. And why were you nervous? It's because it was unknown to you. And I think that applies to sobriety as well. Sobriety is an unknown territory for a lot of us, and we don't know what to expect. It's scary. We're afraid of going into the withdrawals. Somebody like me, I barely ever got any sobriety, and I didn't really know what to expect at all. It's insane that I never had any seizures or anything whenever I would quit, but I would definitely get very, very ill. I mean, violently ill. I would lay in the bed for days on end, sweating profusely, RLS. I mean, I could barely even move. And all I laid there and thought about was alcohol and how it could make all of this go away if I could just drink. And I would eventually just give in and go back and drink again because I couldn't handle the feelings. And I think that has a lot to do with it too. I kind of touched on this yesterday, but when we've spent decades, years, whatever it is, drinking to mask our emotions, to numb ourselves, I did it. I did it for so many years. And every single time that I would encounter any kind of a problem, I had to drink for that. I had an excuse to drink for everything. If it was a good thing or a bad thing or just an in-between reason to drink, I had a reason to drink, an excuse. Every day. If somebody asked me, why are you drinking today? You drank every day this week. I can promise you I had a reason why I had to drink that day. But back to what I was saying, it's the fear of the unknown. We don't know what to expect. We're afraid of feeling those feelings again. And like I said, that's scary. It can be very frightening, especially when you first get sober and a lot of feelings start coming back. It's in the beginning as well. You get very emotional when you're trying to stop. It can be a very emotional time for you, and you'll cry at the drop of a hat or, freak out over nothing and have an anger attack, and throw a temper tantrum and break something just because you're so frustrated. You know what you could do to fix it. And you're trying so hard not to go back and do it again. I completely understand. I know what you're going through. I truly do. I was there so many times. I would pace back and forth, thinking to myself, all I have to do is go to the store. I would start to go around my house and start to pick quarters up, count them out. I'd lay them on the dining room table. I'd get $1 and stack it up. Find another $1, stack it up. Find another $1, stack it up. Before I knew it, I was at $15-16. And I knew good and well I could get to the liquor store and get a really cheap bottle of vodka for that. And I would keep thinking about it. And the next thing you know, I was at the liquor store. At the same liquor store where they told me that they don't take quarters anymore. That was so embarrassing. I got told, we do not take change here anymore. And I would go to that liquor store because it was the closest one to me. And the owner was the one that told me that we don't use change and you can't take change here anymore. Because I would go in there with change pretty often. And there was a lady that worked in there on odd days. And I knew if she was at the liquor store that she would take my change. She was really cool. So when I would drive up to a liquor store, if I saw his car there, I would drive to another liquor store. And my heart would just sink because I knew I had to drive on a main road to get to a liquor store. But if her car was there, I would pull in because I knew I could get my bottle and leave. And before you know it, I was right back at the house, mixing up my drink, right back at it again. And the disappointment that I would feel because I had hyped up this thought in my mind that it's going to be so spectacular when I get that drink. And then I'd get it, and it was nothing like what I expected it to be. It didn't feel the way I wanted it to feel. I didn't get the euphoria that I was expecting. Not at all. And if anything, it was, like I said, one of the biggest disappointments that I'd ever had because I had, hyped this up all week long thinking if I could just get that drink, it would just fix everything. And it never did. It just made things worse. Next thing you know, my wife comes home, finds me, I'm passed out again. After I promised for the 1,000th time that I'm going to stop, she finds me passed out in the bedroom when she gets home from work. Food all over the counter. I started to try to cook dinner, but I just left it out, fell asleep. It's crazy. My point to this video today is that, like I said, going to that first job, it's scary, but you've done it a couple times probably at this point in your life now, and it's not as frightening as it was the first time you did it because it was an unknown. It's like going to school the first day or riding a bicycle the first time or driving a car for the first time or going on, overseas for the first time. It's just the fear of the unknown. You don't know what to expect. You don't know how you're going to feel. It can be scary. And you start to think about like all these upcoming events. I've got this work trip that I have to go on in 3 months. And how am I going to stay sober for that? And how am I going to stay sober for that wedding that I have to go to next year for my sister? Or, You name it. We're already making plans. Like, I just can't do this because I've got XYZ coming up and I have to drink when I go to these things. And the thing is, just don't think about that right now. Think about the now. We're living in this moment, right this second. And whatever's coming up in the future, I mean, figure that out when you get there. Don't worry about that right this second. Let's just worry about today. Like I said, you're so much stronger than you really know. There have been so many situations in my life that I'd never thought that I'd be placed in, and I did. And one of them was, laying on a hospital gurney while I've got nurses and doctors all around me and people rushing around, and they're giving me blood transfusions, and the doctor's taking x-rays, and then he tells me that you're basically dying right now. We're going to try our best to save your life. And I never thought that I would be in that position, but there I was, laying on that table. I was in it. And when all that was happening and everything, there was like this peace. I just felt this peace. It's the oddest thing I could ever explain. I mean, I can't explain it. But there was this peace. I was just talking to my wife about this yesterday, about the peace that I felt multiple times. When I came so close, I just accepted it. It was what it was. Something that I've always been so afraid of encountering. And then I got to it, and it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. Like I said, I felt this peace. In one of the scariest moments of our lives, something that we all have to go through at some point. All of us do. And we're all afraid. Well, maybe not everybody's afraid, but I know I am. And I know a lot of other people, I was, and I know a lot of people are or were. But when I encountered those times, like I said, I just accepted it. I knew I really messed up. I knew I drank myself to that point, and I was sad about it. I didn't want to go yet, but it was one of those things, like, there's nothing I can do about this right now, and I just hung on. And like I said, you have no idea what you're capable of and how strong you actually really are. I really do think that you will blow yourself away. I know it feels uncomfortable, and I know it's frightening. I know it's scary. You're thinking about how you're going to feel and the emotions that might come up during all of this. And you go to get sober, and all of a sudden you start feeling all these emotions that you've never felt or haven't felt in a very long time. They're so unfamiliar to you. I know what you're going through. The frustration that you feel, the anger that you feel, that stuff all calms down. It all starts to go away. It's really not as bad as you think it's going to be. I'm not suggesting that anyone just go and quit cold turkey right this moment. I'm not saying that at all. I'm definitely an advocate to go to the doctor, and be honest with your doctor and tell them, how much you've been drinking, how long you've been drinking, and be 100% honest. And let your doctor decide what they want to do from that point forward. Because quitting alcohol or benzodiazepines abruptly can be very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. But if you've spoken to a doctor and your doctor gave you the A-OK and said go for it, give it a shot. Try it. I bet you would be blown away at what you can actually accomplish. When we want something bad enough, we can really do it. I never thought that I would have to deal with having ascites. I didn't even know what ascites was. I had no idea. None. And there I was faced with it. With 2 hernias poking out of my stomach. I mean, it seriously looked like I was hiding Pinocchio inside of my shirt. It really did. My hernia poked out. One of them poked out that far out of my belly because of the amount of pressure from the fluid inside of my stomach. And I decided I don't want to end up like this. I'm going to try my best to do what I can do to get this to go away. And I started trying to eat as clean as I could and, Started doing all of the tricks that I've talked about, you know, to make ascites go away, and started getting up and trying to just walk around and exercise just a little bit, and took my medication exactly when I was supposed to, and didn't drink the fluid, you know, more than 2 liters of fluid a day, and less than 1,000 milligrams of sodium, and all these things I never thought that I'd be able to do. I didn't ever think I could like reduce my sodium that low. I just didn't. I've been a chef my whole life. I've put salt on everything I've ever eaten. If I picked up a little tomato, like a grape tomato to eat, I would sprinkle salt on it before I put it in my mouth. And here I am, you know, going to basically eating with no salt whatsoever. But I did it, and I actually learned to like it. And now I don't like salt, which is the craziest thing. It's all about what we get used to. It takes time. Sobriety, we have to learn to be in sobriety. It takes practice. Don't beat yourself up if you keep falling back down and relapsing. This takes practice. You can't just, you know, just decide one day that you're going to quit and think that it's just going to be just A-okay. And, you know, it works for some people, but not for most of us. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes hard work. It takes dedication. And it takes you taking yourself and taking a hard look in the mirror and, you know, getting the courage up inside of you and the strength inside of you to say enough is enough. I don't want to end up getting sick. I don't want to lose everything because of this poison. Because that's exactly what alcohol is. It is poison. When I smell hand sanitizer now, it makes me want to throw up. I mean, it really does. To smell that smell. That's all I ever smelled for years was the smell of vodka. I could smell it coming up out of my mouth up into my nose. I reeked of vodka. Even when I woke up in the morning, I reeked of vodka. Everything I smelled like vodka to me. I never thought I would be able to break away from that. Never. I truly thought I was trapped. I truly thought I would never be able to break free. I begged, I pleaded, I got on my hands and knees. I begged to God to help me. And I couldn't do it. I could not do it. And then one day, like I said, I got sick, and then everything changed. And after spending that time in the hospital, I just said enough is enough. I don't want to go back to this again. I really do wish that there was like something I could say or do that could, you know, just snap my fingers and I could make the whole world, you know, get exactly what they want out of life. But I can't. But what I can say is that you are so strong. You really are. Just think about all the things that you've been through in your life, things that you never thought that you would have to go through. Think about all the hard, difficult, scary things that you have been through in your life, and think about how you persevered through it. You can do the same thing with your drinking or with whatever it is. You can. You really, truly can. Sometimes it takes us being faced with really hard times to just see how strong we really, truly are. I never thought that I would be the person that could deal with the things that I've dealt with medically. I just truly did not ever think that I could deal with this. I used to tell people, you know, if I ever got, you know, chronically ill, just go ahead and take me out because I can't deal with that. But here I am. I go to every single one of my doctor's visits. I take my medicine on time every single day, twice a day when I'm supposed to. I do what I'm supposed to do. I eat what I'm supposed to eat. I drink what I'm supposed to drink. And I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. Never once did I ever think that I would be where I'm at right now, but I'm here. And I'm nobody special. I am just a normal guy. I really, truly am. I am nobody important. I'm nobody special. I'm just a normal dude. It's got a lot of problems now because of all the years of abuse. It's crazy to think about how many days just wasted away, gone. Don't be like me. Don't waste any more of your time. You can really get your life back. And I can tell you that sobriety is so beautiful. Does it feel like that right away? No. It sucks in the beginning, but over time it gets truly amazing. You can deal with things, problems come your way, and you can dodge and weave around them and just deal with them. It's not the end of the world. I used to freak out if something went wrong. I don't know what was wrong with me back then. I guess I was just so caught up in my addiction. I would totally freak out. If something small happened, a flat tire, a toilet gets clogged up, a sink gets clogged up, the air conditioner breaks, anything, I would just panic because it didn't fit into my idea of what this life was about. I had this idea. This is what it was supposed to be. This box. My life was supposed to be this, but life came by and showed me that I didn't have anything figured out. I don't know what I'm talking about, and life's going to give me whatever it decides it wants to give me. I can't plan anything. All I can do is just try my best to make it through this and, like I said, dodge and weave when things come along and try my best to adapt. And you can do the same thing as well. And I know you're doing the same thing right now. You're living life. You're making it through it. But you can break free from those chains. I'm telling you, you are such a strong individual. Each and every single one of you are. And I believe in each and every single one of you. Like I said, go back in your mind and think about all of those hard things that you've been through in life. I mean, I don't know what, maybe you had some kind of medical problem and you made it through that, or maybe you lost somebody that you loved dearly and you made it through that. If you can make it through all that stuff, you can make it through being sober too. You can get through that period of not feeling comfortable. You can get through all of it. You truly can. And the pride that you're going to have, it's going to be totally unbelievable whenever you get through it. I'm telling you, you're going to be so proud of yourself. I'm proud of you for just being you right now and trying. Because like I always say, you're not a failure until you stop trying. Keep trying. It will happen. You just got to keep trying. Just don't give up. Keep pushing forward. You can do it. If I can get sober, anybody can get sober. I never, ever thought I would be sober. I truly did not think that I would ever be sober. I really did not. But here I am. And like I said, I'm nobody special. I'm just a guy. Message on your phone. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so much to all the people that donated to the Buy Me a Coffee and the Super Thanks and the Cash App yesterday. I truly do appreciate each and every single one of you. Don't forget about the Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description. It's right at the very top. I changed that to a live link or a hyperlink, whatever you want to call it. But you just click right on that. It takes you straight to my Buy Me a Coffee page. And once again, I truly do appreciate the support from each and every single one of you. You guys are so great. Thank you so much for watching today. This channel is really growing really fast, and I have nobody to thank but each and every single one of you that like, watch, subscribe, comment on each one of the videos. I truly do appreciate each and every single one of you helping me to get this message out, because it has become my life mission to try to help as many people as I possibly can. Y'all have a great rest of your day today. I love each and every single one of you. And don't forget how strong you really, truly are. You are such a strong person. And guys, I will see each and every single one of you tomorrow. I love y'all.